Welcome to today's blog. Now, if you saw yesterday's, I mentioned, in fact, actually, probably the last half of it ended up being on ADHD because I'm quitting smoking and I quit caffeine, which both have a deep effect on ADHD. And if you really wanted to see what starts happening to somebody with ADHD in situations where I'm not sure what the term would be, flare up or whatever, but in situations where it's starting to become bad, last one was a way to look at it. Um, a lot of it though had to do with well, what I was doing during the day. See, I started working out. Now, while smoking and caffeine both have an effect, a positive effect on ADHD, quitting them, well, you quit self medicating, which is what it boils down to. Um, but working out, on the other hand, is a great way of actually alleviating a lot of the symptoms of ADHD. So I didn't work out yesterday. Today I worked out, and I'm a lot more focused, and it makes a huge amount of difference. It also makes me feel good because some endorphins and et cetera, et cetera. Um, plus, feel like you're actually getting somewhere in life. Um, so yeah, today I'm like much more in tune and with it and energetic, and not ooh shiny ooh yeah. Oh, I gotta go clean this. I gotta go do this. I gotta go do this. Yeah, no, much better. Now I'm at 72. Well, let's see, what time is it? 3:48. Puts me at about 76 hours of having quit smoking. Here's the thing. I've done this before. This time is completely and utterly different. I'm really not craving anything. I don't have the food cravings. I don't have the replacement cravings. I don't have the craving for a cigarette. Now I've even done it with e-cigs before, so it's not like this is new. Um, and that, oh, I've never tried these, so this makes all the difference in the world. I don't really know what it is that's made all the change. Why this suddenly is so much simpler than it had been previously, but it is, and I'm pretty grateful for that. It's pretty awesome. Not having to deal with all the withdrawal symptoms and everything else, and of course, but I'm still getting the upsides to it. For instance, my sense of smell has improved, um, which was fun going to uh, nature's nature's market or nature's whatever it is yesterday with my wife, standing in the aisle of all the soaps. I'm smelling the cacophony of various scents, which I'm not really fond of that, and I could smell, and they were over here, just out of arm reach, just sharply smell the honeybee wax candles, which growing up we had beehives. So that smell to me is a very powerful memory smell. And it's really awesome, and I love the smell of it. So it was really cool to kind of get that back. And I've been there before. Again, I've quit smoking a couple of times. It's not a new thing, um, but it's just been so simple this time, and I'm very grateful for it. Praise God, whatever you want to pick for who you want to praise, or just praise yourself. But this was pretty awesome. Um, today, today I had a politician get a hold of me and say, hey, like my page. So I look at their page. It doesn't really say much about them. Um, but it's got their website. A really horrid website. Um, in fact, will I show it to you? Yeah, let's show it. Let's see. Give me just a second. I hadn't. These things are impromptu, so not necessarily always do I have things prepped for doing this sort of thing. And I have to find, there we go. Well, that's not what I want you to show. I mean, the source code to that page is kind of cool and everything, but I want you to show. There we go. And I'll start off with a link to his website. It's actually kind of buried on his um, page. So, hey, check that out. It works. It's kind of buried a little bit, and I had to look for it. I think under the About is where I found it. Yes, there we go. This is a horrid, 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 horrid. I can't stress how horrid this website is for a politician. Um, Now, part of the thing is website development by donated labor. So I understand. Um, but still, I mean, it's really bad. I mean, come on, at least try. Um, they're just not, yeah. And you get, oh, okay, well, about Perry, that's got all of his stances and everything. No, it's got his history, and his stances end up being the typical politician BS. Well, I'm not going to call it BS, but standard political speak. Building sound community requires national leadership. I can't just sit back and watch Congress fail to act while middle class Kansas families struggle to survive. Well, what are you doing about it? See, it doesn't say what he's doing about it. I fully recognize the generosity and hard work of the middle class, and it's and believe it's time we have a congressman who'll do what's best for all the people of the 4th Congressional District. Well, I'm in Wichita, Kansas, so we're part of that. The problem I've got with this is this doesn't tell me anything. And a friend of mine uh, had this. He pointed out how he tests these guys, and I kind of liked it, which boiled down to um, ask him one question. Ask him what's your stance on gays? What do you think about gays? Um, so I asked him, what do you think about gay marriage and homosexuality? Wasn't a I'm not going to say it was a bad answer, but it wasn't a great answer either. It was, well, I think the government spends too much time watching us anyways, and they don't belong in our bedroom. Gay marriage is not a bedroom issue. It's not. In fact, gay marriage is an issue of equality. Whoever, if you're against gay marriage, you're against the idea that gay people should be able to have the same rights as everyone else. And I can't stand for that personally. Um, he and the answer he gives though really doesn't say, hey, you know what? I support the idea of gay marriage, or I don't support the idea of gay marriage, or usually the political speak is, I support the sanctity of marriage, despite the 3 divorces I've had. I have not had 3 divorces. I've had one though. Anyways, so I don't like that whole take from politicians. I never do. Give me a straight answer. Tell me. I'm going to vote for you based on your stance on issues. If you tell me something wishy-washy like that, I know what your stance is. You don't have a stance. Not really. What you have is a desire to be elected. There's a huge difference between a stance and a desire to be elected. And personally, simply the desire to be elected is not enough for me. Um, and of course, we've got here in Kansas, November 4th, we've got an election coming up, so I expect to hear more of these. This is not the first person who's contacted me. In the last 6 months, I think I've had 3 different politicians contact me via Facebook Messenger and say, hey, like my page. Well, again, you got to give me something to go on. In fact, actually, with Perry Shulman, I think his name was, doesn't even have on his page whether he's an independent, a Republican, or Democrat. I don't care. Not really. I'm a Republican. Sort of. Kind of. I say sort of kind of because I don't necessarily believe everything that my platform says. In fact, I believe very little of it. But I don't necessarily believe the Democrats either. I guess slowly but surely I'm actually becoming an independent, but don't tell anybody. Which I have a very moderate view of politics anyways. But this guy didn't even put that much. No, nothing to symbolize that he's with a particular party, or even that he's just independent, or that he's green, or that he's what have you. Nothing. See, these little things matter, and I understand that voters. Sometimes you can get away with just having non-messages. In fact, actually, there's a whole school of thought about non-messages, about broad generalization statements that get you elected. that those are more important than the specifics. I think the day and age of non-specifics is starting to come to an end slowly but surely. I don't think it matters as much in this race as it is going to in another 4 years or 6 years. But slowly but surely, I think the specific issues are going to start mattering again. And people say, will probably debate me and say, well, wait, these guys talk about it. Not really. Did Listen to them again. Listen to a lot of these guys again, and most of them don't say, and I shouldn't say guys and gals, but it's still male-dominated field for some insane reason. Listen to these people and understand that most of their answers are just not answers. They're nothing. They're fluff designed to make you feel good. Well, we don't need to feel good anymore. We need to have things happen that are right. Equality needs to be an important subject. Equality for women, equality for minorities, equality for gays, equality for everybody. There's nobody who's been better than anyone else. And I I lead a congregation. I'm still for gay marriage. I'm still for equality. I'm still for all of these things because I believe in them even from a biblical standpoint. I think the current stance on churches is, that churches have and that a lot of people have that call themselves Christians, just doesn't, I don't buy it. It's not a good thing. And most of the time, the stance that people have is because other people told them this is what they're supposed to believe. So anyways, politicians, I'm just going to start hashing them every time I get a message like this. And I'm going to beat on them until they understand, well, one, they're probably just going to go away. I'm not that important person. Yeah, I've got about, 10,000 followers, between the various social networks, actually not including the pages I represent. So I'm not really like this big important person that they're going to spend a whole lot of time trying to woo into voting or supporting them. But hopefully other people do the same. Don't just, oh, yeah, sure, I'll like your page, or, nah, I'm going to pass. Nah, take a minute. Get these guys. Tell them. What do you stand for? No, really, what do you stand for? What is it that you feel about gay marriage? What is it that you feel about education in Kansas? Or what is it that you feel about this issue or that issue? Find the things that are important to you and ask them about it. Don't let them off easy anymore. These guys have spent way too much time on political messages that are attack ads on other people or that are non-statements. Let's fix that. So I'm going to get out of here, but I'm going to leave you with a little something. I've now got an exit video. Yes, I'm all professional. I've got credits at the end. Actually, they're not credits. They're mainly just, hey, check out my other projects. But this is actually Facebook just released, or Instagram/Facebook just released yesterday, a new cool tool called Hyperlapse, which is kind of cool. Basically, you shoot a piece of video, you pick a time speed that you want it to run at, so it is yeah, just watch it. This was actually shot here in Wichita. There's some focus problems off and on, but it's still kind of a cool little thing. Hope you enjoy it, and see you next time.